Welcome to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, hit that like, subscribe to this channel, and become a part of the chat family. And welcome to the Blah 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 podcast. Hello, chat family. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate every single one of you for being a part of my chat family. And I wanted to come in and to talk about something that's really important. Hey, Miss Lynn, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday to you. If you could hit the like, share this out, I'd really appreciate it. Today, I want to talk to you all about tragedy. It's a part of life. It's something that we can't do anything about it. But I wanted to have this conversation because I do think it's important, and that is when you only see certain individuals, and I will say mainly it is your relatives. It's mainly your relatives, but sometimes it's friends. There are some people that have that way of thinking that they're only going to be there. They're only going to be supportive when they have to. And one of the times in life where some people feel that they can only support is when it's something major happening. And I find that this to be very sad that it happens in many communities with many people. And it's time to have this conversation. You only see them when it's a tragedy. So let's start today's topic. And put up my first point. There are some who are family and friends, and you will only see them in sad times. And the sad times, that is not the time, that is not when someone should show up for you. Um, if somebody really cares about you and loves you, they'll check on you at all times, not just in bad times or hard times or dark times in your life. It should be in your joyous times, in times of celebration, but also, yes, of course, be supportive in times of tragedy too. But it shouldn't be the only time you see certain individuals is when something major happens or when you have to be there shedding tears or things like that. And I don't know about you all, but these are the times where they come in and they will show up, and then they'll make promises. Yeah, let's get together. And they never do. They're not trying to get together with you, but this is the reality of some relatives and friends, that they're only going to be supportive of you during your sad times and your hard times. I find that to be really, really stressful, really frustrating, that you're kind of prepared. I don't know if it happens in your family, but in my family, it definitely happens. I bet you they will show up today. And it's sad that the only time you see them is because it's a painful situation because somebody has passed or something like that. Um, and I feel like it shouldn't be like that. Good morning, Miss Tamika. How are you doing? Good to see you. Happy Thursday. I feel like that's a terrible thing, that we have individuals who are in our family and our friends that you only see them in sad times. Like the first time usually is when a loved one is terminally ill, like you find out that they're probably going to have to get chemo or radiation, or you find out that it's something major, a major health problem, or the person is very sick. And I hate that. I hate when I only see certain individuals in pain, but you never see them when your elevation, when your blessings, like um a celebration of something in life, like a wedding, a birth of a child, a graduation. How about being supportive and showing up for other people during other times, or even just to pop in to say hello, but you only see them when situations like this arise, like you know that they're not going to have that much time with that person, and then they show up, and of course they always have so much to say, right? I don't know in your family, but in my family, it's the one that has never supported and helped. They've never been there. They haven't given a dime, but they have so much advice. Why isn't this done? And why isn't that done? And how come this? And how come that? And it's unbelievable because when it happened to me in my situation where I was dealing with my father when he was terminally ill with cancer, and I had certain individuals in my family, and they came in with their judgments. How come dad doesn't have this? And how come uncle doesn't have this? And how come they don't have this? And how come that? Like, excuse me, where have you been all the time where they've been suffering or they've been in need? But the moment when their life of the relative or the friend is about to end, now they finally come in with all of their notions, all of their ideas about what you should have done. And they're pointing fingers like that's going to help. It's very irritating when you have individuals within your family or friends or whoever a person is that comes in with judgments, when you're already battling so much things within your head, within your heart. It's like you're already preparing yourself mentally for their demise, and here they come. It's like pouring salt into the wound. It makes the already heavy burden heavier by they bring in the irritation, the judgment, the all of that. And you just wish that they wouldn't show up, but they always show up with their negativity. I don't know. I feel like some people are just evil. I don't know how to say it any other way. There's certain individuals, and I feel like they are purely evil. Here is another one. You only see them when a loved one is on hospice. Like I said, like end of life. You know that they only have a few weeks, a few months, and now they're showing up. And here they come with their crocodile tears. Oh, I wish I would have come. I wish I would have came here earlier. I didn't know it was that bad. When they've been informed, they've known everything. They've never been in the dark, but I don't know who they think they're fooling. Do you have those individuals within your family that they only show up when it's a tragedy, when it's something, a difficult situation? It's unbelievable. Yes, and this is usually the major one for most people. You only see them when a loved one has passed. And here they come. They're screaming more than anybody else, especially at the funeral or the wake. They're screaming like they were so close to them. Like, I don't know. I feel like when you have a relative or a friend that shows up when somebody passed or only in tragedy, I think it's the guilty conscience, maybe the weight, maybe the totality of them not doing what they know they should have done has really pricked their conscience. I don't know what it is, but I think it's weird that people only show up when a loved one has passed away, and they're shedding tears and crying, and you're looking at them like, not that you're trying to be judgmental, but you're really asking yourself, like, what is really going on? Why are you showing up now when it's over? um, Sometimes I feel like they're just showing up to, shed tears to see what they're going to get. What did uncle or dad or whoever leave me? I don't know. Is that a evil way of thinking? I don't know, but that's just what I think. I think they only show up to see what they're going to receive. But one thing that we definitely have to understand is that we can't change people who are like this. I learned for myself. I can't change a cousin, a brother, a sister, a auntie, a uncle, a grandparent, a friend. People are going to show up for you how they want to show up for you. And some people just don't care about how another person feels. And I think that it's really sad to have people who don't think about other people when it's happy times, when, just to check on you, hey, what's going on? Or wanting to spend time with others in the family or other friends, but only when something sad happens, something major happens, that's when they want to show up with their experiences, with their sad stories. And I don't know, I kind of feel like they're trying to make other people feel like they were so close. But everybody who's around, you can't fool it. People know who has been calling and showing up. And even if you can't show up in person, at least making phone calls and checking on the person. I don't know. I just think some relatives and some friends are really weird and really evil, and want to control the situation after a person has passed away, like wanting to oh, how come they get this and how come they get that, and why don't they have this, or wanting to control certain medical issues, like what a person has put in their will, or what they have decided to give to certain individuals, or how they've chose to and their life, like if they want to be cremated or they want to be buried, and they're not giving any money. They're not helping with any of the expenses when it comes to the funeral or anything. Or if a house is sold, they feel that they should be getting a cut of the house. It's just unbelievable, some of the things that happen with our friends and our family when tragedy happens. I always say you find out who really cares about us when there's difficulties, when there's pain, when there's hurt. Who will show up, who's going to take the person to the doctor, or wash their clothes, or help them with the bath, or whatever the need that arises. It's kind of irritating because I've been on the side of being a caregiver of a family member that is terminally ill. And sometimes all you want is someone to be there, like a respite care, just to, sit with the person so you can get a break, because the weight of caring for a sick loved one is very exhausting, because you still have to live your real life. You still have to work. You still have to cook and clean and get groceries and do all of those normal day-to-day things. And you just sometimes need a break from it. So even if somebody can't give financially, but they can give of their time. Hey, I just want to give you a break, give you a respite from whatever the stress. And I will say this too. I don't know how many of you have family members that have special needs, like I do, but it would be a nice thing also to be supportive of um, um, of a family member or a friend that has a special needs family member, because we never get a break. You never get a break, because you have your real life where you have to work and provide and cook and clean and all those things, but you're on 24 hours a day when it comes to that relative that has special needs. You don't get a break or a rest from it. So even sometimes just calling to say, I just wanted to give you some emotional support. I hope that you're doing okay. Do that for somebody who, not just in tragedy, but think about those who have a special needs relative, or somebody that's going through something major, like they're living with the loss of a loved one, or um, they went through something major, like a divorce, or a breakup of a relationship, or they just went through a major health problem. Being supportive is so important and valuable when a person is going through something. So, let's try to be better friends. Let's try to be better family members, and not just show up just when you want something, just when a person is at the end of their life. be kind, see the need, even if it's just bringing a plate of food, maybe buying a few bags of groceries, calling and saying, I just wanted to check on you to see how you're doing. That means everything, for the ones that are the caregivers or the ones that are living in the home with that sick or terminally ill loved one, or being a support system to somebody who has a special needs, either child or sibling or friend or whoever. Being that support system is so wonderful. Hey Jackie, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. Happy Thursday to you. I always want to say that I feel that it's so important to be a supportive system, be a rock for somebody, because when a person has to always be, I'm trying to think of the word, when a person always has to be, on, you don't get a break when you have a special needs family member. You don't get a break when you have, a person in your life that is at the end of their life, or they're going through something. They need emotional, mental, physical, and even sometimes financial support. Even if you can't give a lot, but how about $10 for some laundry detergent, or offering to, buy a meal, take them out so that they can get a break from that environment. I know, being on the side of being a caregiver, it was so hard to see your loved one declining in their health, and knowing that ultimately they will not be here anymore. It's a lot to cope with. It's a it's a lot to deal with. So having that support, even somebody to say, how are you doing? I was just thinking about you, and giving that person room to vent everything that they're dealing with, everything that they're going through. Be a support to others, not just in tragedy, not just when a person has passed away, or just when a person will call and ask for help. Part of being a supportive, family member or a supportive friend is seeing what a friend needs and say, I wonder if they need support with this. And then just being there, just, even if it's just to listen to them, even if it's just to be compassionate and understanding. I think as human beings, we've kind of gotten away from, the tender feeling, the compassion, the being understanding. We're just in our own world thinking about our own issues and problems. When what about if your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your parents just need someone to vent with, someone to listen to them, someone to be understanding of what they're going through. Let's not just show up when a family member has passed away, or just when, a person is sick or in the hospital. When major things happen, these are the times where you only see people during these times. Let's do more and be better about being closer as siblings. Take care of your parents when they're getting older, because it's something getting older. The older that I am getting, I'm realizing that everything shifts and change. And just having the support just to say, Mom and Dad, I was thinking about you today. Thank you for being a great mom or dad. Is there something that you need? And even if they say no, just showing up, knowing that they probably need like laundry detergent, or soap, or help with their laundry, folding, cooking and cleaning, helping to cook a meal, supporting them to take them to a doctor's appointment, or whatever it is that they need, or just sitting down and giving them your time by talking with them and encouraging them, letting them know how important they are. And you really see their strength. When I was going through, the end of my dad's life, my dad had, end stage prostate cancer. And I remember when he had probably about 4 to 5 months left of his life, and he was placed on hospice. what really got me through though that time was when I had people in my life that showed up for me just to say, I'm here for you. You don't have to, we don't have to talk about anything. Let's just spend some time together. And even though we just sat in silence, but just somebody showing up and knowing that somebody cared enough to be there for me, the moral support, even calling to say, I was thinking about you today. I, is today a good day or is today a bad day? Simple things like that really go really far in supporting a person mentally and ultimately how they feel about the situation. Because somebody who is at the end of their life, knowing that you're not going to be around them for a long time, in a little while, I mean, it's a lot to wrap your head around, knowing that this is final and they will be gone soon. So just having people in your life just to say, I was thinking about you, I support you, I care about you. Is there anything that you need, or do you feel like venting? How about I pick you up and let's go out and do something fun? Even if it's just for a drive, pack a lunch. I remember those things. I remember those people in my life that valued me so much to say, I know you need a break. Let's go and get some lunch or dinner, or let's just hang out at the park and eat something and just talk about something completely different. A change of scenery means a lot when you are just in that seeing the person that you love in the bed, sick, or, you just feel so down. I don't know who has been through something like this, but when you see somebody so down and sad, and you know that you're not going to have them much longer, it's like every day, it's like waiting for the final day. Like, is today the day they're going to go? Is today the day? Is today the day? And I can't explain, I can't put it into words what that feels like. Wondering if today is your last day. Like, okay, in making sure you hug them, because you don't know if you leave, that will be the last time you see them. So, for this discussion, I wanted to say that if you have people in your life that you really love, make sure you tell them you love them while you have a chance, while you have an opportunity. And if there's people in your life that you're upset with, you're angry, you had a falling out, forgive them. You don't want to wait until some tragedy or something happens and then you say, I didn't even tell them I'm sorry. I didn't even tell them I love them. So let's not wait, you know. I'm not going to stay on here for too long. I just wanted to come in with this topic because today is 3 years since my brother has passed away, and 7 years since my mother passed away. See, what had happened was my mom and my brother passed away on May 2nd, 4 years apart. My brother passed away from a stroke, quote unquote, but we really don't know what it was because it was during COVID-19. So it was very suspicious and mysterious passing. Hey, a slice of farming. How are you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. So his passing, his death was very mysterious, and it was we did in my family we didn't get to close the door to grief because we weren't allowed to go to the hospital. We weren't allowed to have a gathering together of family because of the precautions with what was going on with C-19. So it was a lot of sadness. And I know I'm not the only one that lost a loved one during the pandemic, but I'm just sharing my experience that it was a tragedy. It was hard, it was difficult when you can't close the chapter, that even though I think all of us grieved on our own, it's not the same as during the moment when you can all show up together and gather together and grieve together. That's important. But I said all of that to say that my brother passed May 2nd of 2021, and my mom passed May 2nd of 2017. So they both passed on the same day. So that's why I said this is a hard day for me, and I wanted to have a conversation about tragedy, based on my experience. I know everybody's experience is not going to be the same, but I did want to say that show up for people, not just in the sad times, especially the people that you care about, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your friends, those of you who you're close to. Don't just think that you have all this time. And if I could go back in time, if I had more moments with my mom, if I had more moments with my brother, I would call into work. I would call into work and I would say, I can't make it today. Or I would make those memories. Take time out of your busy schedule to spend time with the people that you love. If that's the only thing that all of you chat family get from today's conversation, I feel like this discussion would be worth it. It's still hard for me to talk about losing my brother because the chapter still, I feel like that's still a void in my life. But, it was also traumatic how my mom passed away. And my mom passed, I was at work and I got a phone call from my brother. My brother said, um, leave work and get here fast. He was at the hospital, but he didn't tell me everything that was going on. My mom had a heart condition. What do they call that? A heart murmur. So she always had issues with her heart. But I didn't know at the time that my mom had passed out at the doctor's office and she had coded. And from the doctor's office to the hospital, she coded in the ambulance. And when I got to the hospital, my mind wasn't really wrapped around that it was that serious. I just thought, maybe she was having some heart palpitations or something, but I didn't know that she was unconscious. Um, oh, it's all good. A slice of farming. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But when I showed up at the hospital, I saw my mom was on, what you call it? She was in a coma like state. It's one of those things that you really don't process it mentally because I don't think my brother really understood like everything that was going on because he was just trying to delegate like and be there and until all of my siblings showed up. For those of you who don't know, I'm the last of 10, so it was a lot of phone calls he had to make and quick decisions. But it was hard. That was a hard period of time, and even till this day I remember seeing when they put the pads on my mom to shock her body to bring her back. I still have those, what do you call it? Like it's like a scratch record. I see it in my mind, you know, her body jumping. And those are the last images that I still remember of my mom. So I try to now shift it and not to think about the negatives and my last moments with her. I try my best to think about the positive things and who she was, the type of woman my mother was, and the type of man that my brother was. So I said all of that to share that I know I'm not the only person that has experienced trauma and tragedy and loss. And just make sure that the people that you care about, the people that you love, inform them. I know that it's not the easiest thing in the world to tell people that you care about how much you love them, how much they matter to you, but don't think you have all this time. I did. I thought I had all this time with my mother. I thought I had all this time with my brother and other people in my life that has passed away. But when you experience major losses, or when you experience tragedy, you realize the fragileness of life, here today and gone the next. So make sure you spend time with those that you love. Tell them you care about them. Take time out of your busy schedule. If I only could have one more day with my mom and my brother, if it just one more day, I would live life differently. I would have had the conversations that I need to have. I would show up. I would keep my word. I would, it's a lot of things that we do because we're busy, right? We're busy. We have to work. I understand all those things. Every single person as adult has responsibilities. But what about, just hanging out with your brothers or your sisters, your cousins, your aunties, your grandparents, whoever in your life, whoever it is that's important. So when you get to the certain stage to where something traumatic happens, you know that you've done everything that you can. And I think that's what has been helping me to rest my mind, that yes, I miss them, but at the same time, I know that I took some days and we hung out and we laughed until we cried and we made memories and we had fun together. So I do think that's where I want to leave today's discussion, because I'm going to go over to my other channel, Marlene Saunders Show, and talk about managing your expectations. Um, I think I'm going to put I don't, Tamika, I don't know if she's still in here. If you could put the link to my next live on Marlene Motivates, I'd really appreciate it. I'm doing okay, Kyle. Today I'm taking it moment by moment. Thank you so much for asking. Yes, it is. It's so true. We have to think about just today. We always think we have all of this time. You think you have all this time with your children. You think you have all this time with your loved ones, with your friends, but life shows you how fragile it is. Here today and gone the next. So, um, I have these conversations because I think it's important to have real conversations and real talk about experiences, and to whoever has experienced loss, who has ever experienced loss, losing somebody that you love, keep your head up. They would want us to live a great life, a positive life, and to experience great things. I think that that's really important. So I want to encourage you, to whoever has not done everything that they want to. If you've been talking about planning this trip, if you've been talking about doing whatever it is, go and do it. Don't wait. Don't think you have all of this time, because we don't, you know. Yeah, and I agree, Jackie. I agree with everything that you're saying. Thank you so much, A Slice of Farming. Yes, I say enjoy each moment to the fullest, and that there's nothing else that we can do. You know, there's nothing else we can do but that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I can be here today talking about it without, bawling my eyes out. I'm not gonna lie. The first year anniversary of my brother passing, I was in the fetal position, in bed crying my eyes out, because I still had not dealt with the situation. But 3 years in, I'm doing a little bit better, day by day. But along with that, I now like to be an advocate. I like to encourage others. I like to have hard conversations about, you know, things just like this. Yes, the afterthought hurts us the most. Yeah, it really does. But I'm just wanted to have this conversation to say to you all, keep on going, keep your head up, do the best that you can, Love while you can, forgive while you can, enjoy the moments, make memories, take lots of pictures. That's one thing that I wish I would have done if I had more moments with my brother and with my mom. I would take so many more pictures. I would take so many more videos, because those are the things that I'm looking back now that they're not here, that I watch over and over and over again, is those videos, those home videos, and I look at the pictures. So do that. If you have people that you love, make sure you're taking pictures on a regular basis. You're doing videos, because later on, you're not going to realize how important that is. You're going to be watching it, trying to sink in and remember every single moment of whatever the occasion was. So that's all from here. I'm going to go over to my Marlene Motivates channel and talk about managing your expectations. I thank you all so much for joining me for today's podcast. I really do appreciate it. And thank you all so much for your thoughts and your kind words. It really does support me and my family. So I'll see you guys on the next podcast, which will be on Monday. Take care of yourself, and love life. You know, you have tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe, become a part of the chat family. We do podcasts Monday to Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I welcome you, and share this out with a friend. We are on the road to 1,000 chat family subscribers. I appreciate everybody who supports me, and those on the replay, my replay family. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and watching this podcast. And if you're going through something and you're stressing out, you're grieving loss, I want you to know that you're not alone. By supporting one another, we get through it one day at a time. One day at a time. Keep going. Never give up, and be encouraged. I'll see you all on the next Marlene Saunders Show. I will see you guys on Marlene Motivates. I put the link in the chat. Bye bye, everybody.